Welcome back to the Personal Injury Law Show, viewers. Before the break, we were talking about the competing interests of the welfare of dogs and humans. And it's a very interesting topic. And your take on that case that Alice was talking about, Moira, what did you know about these dogs?
These dogs were trained at pig hunting dogs. And that made a heck of a difference, I think, to the outcome of the case, because in fact, the 4-year-old girl got her way into the next-door neighbour's property. This is the kid who was killed. But the council knew about these dogs, knew they were often escaping into the neighbourhood, had the power to declare them dangerous, never did, knew the area had lots of kids around, and hadn't taken the basic steps to ensure that
Moira,
it
if they
was
were
a
declared
responsible
dangerous,
owner.
they would have been put down, correct?
If they've been proven to be dangerous. If you declare it dangerous, all you have to do is make sure they're never out in public without being leashed and a warning sign on them.
But
and
if
kept
they are out
securely.
in public, they'll be destroyed.
They can be seized and destroyed immediately.
Alice, what happened after this case?
After this case, Tony, the New South Wales actually amended their Companion Animals Act, which is equivalent to our Domestic Animals Act in Victoria, to bring in new and more stringent amendments, a little bit like what we're going through at the moment.
Yep.
But Moira, perhaps it's handy for the viewers to know exactly what a pig hunting dog is, as opposed to, say, a beagle or a pit bull terrier.
Yeah, my uncle was a pig hunter. He had a pack of dogs which were kept outside, didn't socialise with humans, and were actually trained to identify a feral pig and to attack and bring it down. In other words, bite it and cut its throat out so that you didn't need to shoot it.
If it
so
can
dangerous, all right.
If it can kill a feral pig, we've got no hope.
Well, exactly. If you train them like that, and that's you're likely to have a dangerous relationship with these animals, which is not the sort of relationship we expect with our partner animals, our domestic pets, our companion animals. And so we make a great mix here.
Viewers, I make no bones about it. I don't mind these placid types. I'm not interested in these crazy, out-of-control
It's entirely up to the owner whether or not they wish to have a companion or a killer dog. And you're allowed to have both, but the law now regulates what you do if it's not a companion animal. And my point is they can all be unsafe if not trained.
Traditionally, people kept dogs as protection, so it wouldn't be burgled.
That's right.
Safety.
That's right.
And it's become more of a campsites. They do a lot with rubbish and refuse.
And it's become more of a companion thing now, but there are a lot of reasons why people keep dogs. For example, where I grew up, dogs were working dogs to help us with livestock. So everybody's got a different take. But I think it would...
Just to keep this topic moving, tell us about that case where the young girl got $340,000.
Yes, this is a New South Wales District Court case, Tony, and it's relevant for the following reasons. There was an 11-year-old young child, I think he was actually a boy, who was in the vicinity of the defendant's premises but also quite close to his own home, and he was walking with a friend when a dog escaped from the defendant's vehicle through an open passenger door, rushed up to the plaintiff, chased him up his own driveway and bit him in the arm, the leg and also in the tummy, and so he suffered quite badly from the attack that he underwent, and the court awarded him over $300,000 in damages as a result of the dog attack.
What's your take on the case, Moira?
I think the damages award was entirely predictable, but on the high side, which on appeal the court found was on the high side.
That's
And,
they settled out of court.
They settled out of court, but the liability is pretty clear. If your animal is not adequately restrained, contained or trained, then if it comes out and hurts a human being, you are going to be responsible for that. So it is your responsibility to ensure you train, contain and restrain your dog. And what I would like to see under this legislation is councils understanding that their responsibility is not just to pick up dogs and kill them, it is to make sure that local people, local residents, know about their responsibilities and can readily train their dogs. And then if they and their council officers are aware of the potential for a happy relationship with the dog as opposed to an awful and frightened reaction, we are likely to have a much happier outcome for companion animals, their owners and potential victims.
Can I just say this? It's important that the public know that apart from the fact that you can be fined and now jailed, they can be sued.
Yep.
They can have a judgment stand over their head for 15 years.
Yep.
If they haven't got insurance, and in a lot of cases the insurers now expect you to take out independent coverage.
That's right.
They can seize your house, your personal belongings, assets. So the people that are housing these dogs should be wary that they can be sued and they can lose a lot of money, apart from the fact that the law will deal with them. Now, I know that you'd want more education, wouldn't you? And you'd want the appropriate people policing these acts of Parliament. Who do you think is the appropriate person to police?
Well, one of my concerns about local councils is that their officers are often quite keen to pick up stray dogs but don't do anything about the puppy mills that end up with these crossbreds, poorly trained and with all sorts of character defects, going out in their hundreds and thousands to people who don't understand the responsibility of looking after them adequately. What I would like to see is rangers who are adequately trained in animal behaviourism, who have the capacity to, if they're wandering, pick them up safely, and who are also responsible for encouraging people easily to train their dogs and understand their responsibilities.
Alice, it sounds to me that Moira's take on the whole thing is, let's have a system in place where before you can keep a pet dog, you've got to have some sort of a training.
That's right, Tony.
Or educational.
I think it's really about a good balance between education and regulation in this aspect, because there are owners out there who are not responsible and who won't undertake training programs if we do put them in place, and that's unfortunately just a reality of what we're going through. But there are also owners out there who are quite eager to do the right thing by the law, and for example, after poor little Ian Cole was attacked in her home, over 50 people in the local area brought their dogs into the council for destruction, which is a shame because no one's to know if that was really the proper reaction, and it's happened and we can't stop it. But I think we need to think about the balance here.
That's an overreaction. What I would like to see is a statutory defence. If your dog, I'm not saying a dog that kills a person, if your dog has rushed at somebody and could be declared menacing, it would be great to have a defence, which is that I have gone through with my dog a training program, and I have been certified as having proper control over my companion animal. And this is a program which has been established by the council. Now, if you had a statutory incentive to defend a claim brought against you of that kind, it would actually change, I think, the attitudes of dog owners to their responsibilities.
I think the competing interests here, Moira, could be better served by having proper education for the owners of dogs, proper training for the dogs,
proper education for the people who are enforcing the law as well. And if we did this, coupled with these heavy penalties and the possibility of costs being awarded against you if you're prosecuted and the animals hurt someone, you may get a satisfactory regime.
And civil litigation. Look, it's a very interesting topic, this, viewers, and it's one that's going to be very heated. Moira loves the animals, and I do too. I've had pet dogs all my life, but at the same time they are vicious, and they can be, so we've got to understand that they need to be trained and educated, and we do too. But this is a topic that's very heated, and we can come back to it another time. But it's very sad that Ian Cole lost her life, and the parents are grieving, and they obviously will be taking some sort of civil proceeding against the owner of the dog, and possibly the council.
And the council, because those dogs were wandering at large.
So, Moira, I really want to thank you for coming on board tonight. I appreciate it. You too, Alice.
Thank you, Tony.
And viewers, next week we'll be talking about glassings and occupiers' liability, so stay tuned and stay safe. Thank you.